I just want to pick up where David was looking at the NQ, weren't you? Yeah, you're looking at the NQ, and he doesn't have these levels on his chart, not because he doesn't use them. It's just that it's I tend to focus more on the Camarilla levels that we have developed for our trading, and you can apply them to any market that you trade. And one of the reasons that the NQ is sort of struggling a little bit at the moment is these are the intraday levels here for the index, as we can see here, as it just happens to be on the 10-minute chart. And it's trading around this level here, which is the fourth level at the S4, and it's always it always struggles at the fourth level. It will test it, it will break through, it will then retest, and you can see it here, you can see it here as well. But what's interesting is if we move up to the 60-minute, I just want to make sure that I've got enough days on the back of that's it. I've got 100 days. It's also we have a confluence of the S4 on both these time frames, which is unusual because the 60-minute to the day, this level is valid for the rest of the week, whereas the intraday levels are just on intraday. So what it's trying to do is trying to reverse off, as I said, this steep fall lower. This was a nice move lower. This is the open around, whenever it's around this the S4 and the opposite, which is the R4, it's always a little bit of a struggle. But if it can move away and reverse higher, that's great. But what isn't very encouraging is seeing the kind of volume that we have underneath it, because it's kind of prices just being marked up, and it's not being supported by genuine participation, and that's what you want to see. Now you could say, well, it's moving up. Is it possible to trade? It depends. It depends on your time frame. If you're on a very, very fast chart and you're just looking to take a few points or a few pips out of anything, then yeah, anything is worth trading, because this methodology, you can apply it, as I said, across all the markets, even spot forex. And there's another question I'm asked about spot forex is, well, there's no central exchange. Yes, you're absolutely right, there is no central exchange, and the volume that you see at the bottom of a typical MT5 chart, let's have a look at MT4 chart, will be the volume that is delivered by your broker. It's not the broker's volume. He will draw that from the liquidity from the banks, that the interbank market. They bundle up the feed, and brokers then pay for that feed, and it's reflected on the chart. If I just show, let's have a look at the 10-minute chart. It's probably easier. Oh, has it disappeared too? There we are. Let's have a look. It represents in this way. It's not 100%. It can't be, because as I said, there's no centralized exchange, but it is good enough for applying the VPA methodology. And in fact, there's been a nice move in cable. But to get back to the NQ, so you have the VPA, you have the price action, you have the volume, and then support and resistance levels, key levels. As I said, we've developed this indicator, the Camarilla indicator, and then we have our accumulation and distribution indicator as well. And if we look up just to see what's happening on investing.com, the headline says it all. Nasdaq, as you can see here, is desperately trying to claw higher. Markets fall an awful lot, move an awful lot faster and harder, when they go down. But when they trying to make their way back up, it can be a bit of a grind. And as I said, the fears of the virus to do with, I think there's been the unemployment. Of course, there's unemployment. Of course, people have lost their jobs. The economies have been absolutely, there's carnage out there in the world economies at the moment. But markets have, you know, headline writers, journalists, they all have to make a narrative to explain what is happening, what has been happening on the charts. Awfully nice. We all like stories. You know, we respond to stories, but ultimately, what you have to trade what you see on the chart. And just to go to the pound Canadian, what I've done here. This is actually the 1 minute chart. This was the level where it couldn't actually get through. In fact, from a level perspective, back on, there we are here, this is the 60 minute, and it's quite interesting. We had a kind of confluence again. This was, it hit the S2 here on the 60 minute. I must admit, I did think it could possibly take a run at 71, but and the reason I thought it would stall at 71 was simply because there is this, this is based on accumulation and distribution indicator, and this has been hit 8 times and come off there. And I thought, well, if it's going to make it, it's not going to get past 71. Then I looked at the 60 minute chart and I thought it ran straight into this level on the S2. So, you know, a potential reversal was setting up, and the 71 was the R4 on the intraday level. So it was a decent level to aim for on the move higher that we were seeing. In fact, and then we got a 2-bar reversal that we can see here. We can see it on the, this is the Renko chart, which is a non-time based chart, and this is the move. This was the move higher. Then we went into this congestion phase. I haven't got the Camarilla on here. You can put Camarilla on the Renko version of Ninja. You can't do it on MT45, but you can here. And this is the level, as we said, all those levels across the multiple time frames where the price was pausing, couldn't get through. Then we had the reversal, which we saw here, attempt to rise again. We had some green bricks, but and we even had some blue dots, but the trend monitor stays relentlessly red. Now you can say, well, where's it heading now? Well, the obvious stopping point is this strong support that we've got at 70.30. So VPA levels, but candles, candle patterns, time, in terms of multiple time frames, you can put them all together, all on different charts. You don't have to load everything up on one chart. Put your, if you've got moving averages, you want to use moving averages, that's entirely up to you. But at its heart, you've got volume price analysis, because that will really help determine what you are seeing on the chart is either genuine or not. And that's all we want. We just want to know that what we're seeing is genuine, and and it will. You take the emotion out of trading, as that strap line says. You want emotions to work for you. You don't want them to work against you, and you certainly don't want them manipulated, as they are so often done by it's called the manipulators, market makers call them what you like. Right, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to pass back to David. Is that all right, David?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you've got any questions, please just drop them into the chat box, or you can always drop me an email, anna@annacooling.com or david@quantumtrading.com.